Hey guys, Bruce here with the Aquarium Live. So we're over here at the fish tank in West Valley City, Utah. This is an awesome fish store, and we're here to demo the new Maxspect Aeraqua Duo protein skimmer, and I think you guys are really going to like it. Alright, so I thought it would be really beneficial to get a video of this after it's actually been up and going and being used in a real-life application here, rather than just simply doing an unboxing. So you can see we're getting some really good thick skimmate there. There's no doubt about that. It's got the switch here, so it'll turn it on and off if the cup overfills. I think that this is an extremely important feature. This will prevent any number of things from the skimmate overflowing back into the sump and polluting the sump. Also, sometimes I've seen where the skimmate will actually come up over, get on your floor, ruin that. So the float switch is really an important feature, and I'm a big fan of that. So we flip that switch over, boom, the skimmer drops. Perfect. So let's get a video of this thing in action. Now, Jeff's had it up for close to 2 months, give or take, and so far he's been really pleased with it. There's a number of very cool features. And then also I wanted to point this out to you. He's got it hooked up to a CO2 scrubber, and this Y connector, I believe that came from BRS. And you can see the foam this thing's putting out. It's pretty crazy. It's got that dual pinwheel motor in there, and it really makes quite a big difference. Now this is actually real world here we're looking at, not in a lab or anything like that, so bear with me on the video. But alright, a few things I wanted to point out. This skimmer is nearly silent. I'm hearing some noise from some fans, some other pumps, but I can't really hear this skimmer. We've got these white tabs right here, and the reason why these are here is so that you can see where the optimal water height would be. Another kind of cool feature that I have not seen on any other skimmer is this hose. Now this is to drain out the cup, and you can see how neatly that wraps around there instead of just hanging out in the sump looking ugly. I mean, I didn't even notice it was there until I went to move that out for you guys.
It's on a hinge point as well.
It's also on a hinge, so you can get that anywhere you need to. Drain it out into a bucket, connect it permanently into some kind of reservoir. Just drain that skimmate right out into a bucket, no problem. The skimmer's going a little nuts because I accidentally spilled some of the skimmate back into the sump, but you can see how well that thing works. It's a beast. Okay, so we've got this Maxspect Aeraqua Duo completely disassembled, and I've got to say, this is my first actual hands-on encounter with this skimmer, and I'm pretty impressed. And I'm impressed because they've taken something that's been around for a very long time, and they've changed it quite a bit, and in my opinion for the better. I think that they've done some things that are really beneficial. One thing I didn't see on any of the research I did, any of the videos I did, was this bottom plate here. If you can see that, I haven't seen anybody take this apart yet, and you may have heard that it's got the muffler, the silencer there for the air intake. Is in the base plate. Well, all that air that comes in has to travel through this maze, and you've actually got 2 paths that it can go. So if something gets clogged, it can still get to the pumps just fine. So with the muffler being down here at the base, it's it's going to be a lot quieter. You're going to have all of your noise submerged underwater. So I think that that's a really, really cool idea. The other thing that's unique about the base is any of the water that's returning into the sump has to go through here and come out here. And this is where that gate, this gate right here, that's adjustable, that's where that lines up. Now, what that does is it reduces the amount of microbubbles. And in a skimmer like this that's putting out so much, I think that's, it's probably very necessary, and it's a really great idea. So let's get this put back together here, and then I'll move on to the pump. Now the pump is extremely easy to take apart and put back together. It's got a needle wheel on either side of it. So one motor is running two separate, almost like two separate pumps in one. I think that this is a great idea, and I'll explain a little bit more on that later. But we just put our gasket on there, put the pump on, quick quarter turn, and it's on. It's that easy. You've got this bubble cup here, and this design is a bit different than most of the modern skimmers you'll see, where they've got a plate with a bunch of holes drilled in it. The reason why this doesn't need that is it's a more efficient design. So these just screw right back into place on there. Everything on this skimmer has been thought up. Everything is very well designed. Like I said, I'm very, very impressed with it. So we're going to go ahead and put the pump back on the base there. We're going to line up. These are our air intakes here for the venturi. Now while this is apart, another thing I can point out to you is it has these adjustments right here. And what these do is it'll change. Let me turn this around so you can actually see it. Okay, so once this is wide open, it's actually recirculating water that's inside of the skimmer. So potentially you could have one of these recirculating the water inside of the skimmer, and then the other one completely closed and it's taking water out of the sump. I think that's brilliant. You can fine tune it for whatever your needs are. You could have both of them slightly open, or you could have both of them, completely closed and both taking air or water out from your sump. The other thing I like about the two-sided design here is that you've got waste coming through. So instead of just taking it in at one point, you're actually taking it in at 2 points, and that's twice as effective. So just another plus here for this design. I really, really like that quite a bit. Now let's go ahead and put the body back on, and it's got these quick release tabs here, so we just slide those back. We're going to line up the gate, push those on, tighten them down by hand. No need for any tools. I like that as well. So you can see it's easy to get everything cleaned in here. And then we just pop on our intake adjustments here. And alright, so we've got our locking tabs on there. We go ahead and put the cup in place like that, lock it in, and we are back together. While this is out and apart, I also wanted to,
other way.
Alright, so here's our drain hose for the collection cup. Just wrap that around there. Looks like it's completely out of the way. We've got our air intakes right here. Sit nice and flush. And you can see how easy this gate is to adjust. So you can really get in there and just fine tune that to exactly where you need it. So let's go ahead and put this thing back in. Alright, so we've got this all put back together. Again, I wanted to highlight the float switch that goes in the collection cup. Now we accidentally triggered that. You can see how sensitive that is, and that's a good thing, because if it, if we have any kind of excess skimmate coming up, we do not want to make a mess. Now it's firing right back up, and it's beautiful. That thing's putting out some really good product right there. Also, again, wanted to highlight how easy it is to connect a CO2 scrubber, an ozone unit, whatever you want to connect into that. There's no problem. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. This was, rather than doing an unboxing video, I wanted to show you the skimmer actually being used in a real life situation. And also, if you're local to this area in West Valley City, or anywhere in the greater Salt Lake area, it's definitely worth your time to come down here, see this thing in person. Come talk to Jeff at the fish tank. He'll be glad to answer any questions for you. Also, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those in the comments. I'd definitely love to hear from you. Please, if you would, follow me on Instagram. That's vital_reef. And, hit that subscribe button. And, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.